find out how you can be an ally to students of color.
And later, the Cal Poly football team is making changes to prepare for their new season.
And a Morro Bay woman's special talent makes her a modern-day Dr. Dolittle.
Broadcasting from Swanson Studios, you're watching Mustang News.
Good afternoon and welcome to the latest edition of Mustang News. Today is April 30th. I'm Rachel Showalter.
And I'm Emma Withrow. Here are today's top stories.
Reporter Kayla Berenson finds out how Cal Poly students can be allies to students who were negatively impacted after recent events on campus.
Many students of all racial backgrounds have already taken action regarding recent campus events, but some may still wonder how they can be an ally to students of color. Julie Lynham explains the most important steps to take in order to be an ally.
The first thing to do is to educate yourself, okay? Because you don't want to walk into a situation and say, oh, what can I do? How can I help? But not have done the work yourself.
Lynham also says not to be afraid of asking questions, even if you think you'll sound ignorant.
I mean, if it's truly something that you don't know, just preface it by saying, you know, this is something I don't know a whole lot about, and I would appreciate it if you could take some time with me to explain this in greater detail because I want to know more.
Though some may feel worried about the future for students of color on campus, Lynham is optimistic.
And I would just say, you know, just keep the fight going and just know that, you know, silence is not the answer, that's for sure. So action.
Students who want to learn more about how to be an ally can visit racemattersslow.org. Kayla Berenson, Mustang News.
Community members came together this weekend for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Mustang News reporter Callan Hobman took an inside look at this event.
I'm Callan Hobman here at Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. It's an annual event put on by the San Luis Obispo community to raise awareness and put an end to sexual assault and gender-based violence. Today we're going to talk to the people who have come to attend this event to see why it's so special and why they're here to support.
So it's really important that our community comes together and kind of shows that we have that solidarity with survivors right here in SLO County.
Her shoes, his shoes, their shoes, our shoes. And I think this really represents how it's not just a women's issue, but it's an issue that everyone in society really needs to be involved with.
It's very important for us to support RISE and all the wonderful work they do. And let's hope for a great day and a big turnout.
I just think like awareness, and I think it's like the real impact on like SLO County.
On the Cal Poly campus with everything that's been going on, like this is like a really positive kind of effect that we need to have and that we need to help volunteer with because sexual assault is such a big deal on every college campus.
With this being the 16th annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, the event is surely to continue impacting the community for years to come. I'm Callan Hallman with Mustang News.
And Cal Poly engineers created a device to help one man with a crippling disease change his life. Reporter Hannah Glazer has the story.
About 2 years ago, engineering senior Sydney Collins and engineer graduate and co-partner Dominic Porciuncula were brought onto a project to create a device that would help a man with Parkinson's disease.
This guy named Jack who came to Dr. Liho and told her that he couldn't find a cane that helped him overcome something that he suffered with every day called freezing of gait. A lot of the times your upper body will keep the momentum that you have while you're walking, and that'll push you forward to fall while your legs are frozen.
Under the advisory of biomedical engineering professor Dr. Liho, Collins and Porciuncula have nearly perfected the device. They have recently decided to grow their project and transition it into a startup company to create more prototypes for patients like Jack.
After being so invested in this project and seeing how much it can help people, like that's what drove me to make it a business and push it past being just a project.
Hannah Glazer, Mustang News.
Yesterday, the 7th annual SLO Marathon took over the town. Runners wove throughout San Luis Obispo running in either the half or full marathon or the half or full relay. The course started out downtown and back to the finish line at the Madonna Inn. Cal Poly students participated in this year came from 38 states and 7 countries. They took the first place spots in the full marathon, and Landon Woodland for the men's division and Lindsay Urigla for the women's A new course record for the half marathon was set by Philip Reed, who did 13.1 miles in 1 hour, 7 seconds, and 29 half seconds.
And stay tuned for your weekly weather forecast after this quick break.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Hello and welcome back from the break. I'm Callan Hallman here with your weekly weather report. We'll start off with today's forecast, and today is Monday, April 30th, and as you can see, there is a high today of 63 degrees and a low of 46 degrees. There's only a slight chance of rain at 10%, and there are winds today at 22 miles per hour, so not the warmest day today in San Luis Obispo. Next, we will take a look at South County. You can see very similar to San Luis Obispo today, ranging in the 60s. Although, as you can see, Vandenberg is the coolest today. It drops to 57 degrees. And Arroyo Grande does happen to be a little warmer than the rest at 64. And you can see all the lows do average in the mid-40s. If we look at North County, however, it does warm up as we go up in north a little more. Paso Robles reaches 70 degrees today. Creston also is a little higher than the rest at 67, although as you can see, it does get cooler as we drop more towards the south, and all the averages and the lows are still in the 40s. We'll also take a look at the beaches if you're hoping to go there today. Similar again in the 60s, Pismo and Oceano are a little higher than the rest at 64 degrees, and as you can see, Morro Bay is a little cooler at a high of 60 degrees. We'll also take a look at your 5-day forecast so you can see your weather for the rest of the week. As we said today, high of 63 degrees. It gets a little cooler tomorrow with 62, but then does begin to rise on Wednesday. Wednesday you'll see a high of 64 degrees, and on Thursday and Friday it actually continues to warm up all the way to 71 degrees, and on Friday much warmer than the rest of the week at a high of 78 degrees. So the beginning of this week is a little cooler, but we can hope for some warmer weekend weather. And that's all your weather for today. Here's Valerie with your sports.
Thank you, Callan. I'm Valerie Gasparini with this week's sports action. Two women of Cal Poly win big in the Big West tournament this weekend. Cal Poly's #1 pair, Tia Murick and Tori Van Winden, left Hawaii as the Big West Conference Tournament champions this weekend. As a team, the Mustangs made it to the semifinals, but were taken down by CSU Long Beach and did not receive a bid for the NCAA championship in Alabama. And in Indian Wells this weekend, the men's tennis team finished second in the Big West tournament and finished their season 18-17 overall and 4-1 in the conference. Cal Poly football is gearing up for the next season. Fullback Joe Prothero and quarterback Kalel Jenkins are coming back from knee injuries that took them out last season. Reporter Mackenzie Nicoli has the story.
Cal Poly football fans got an early look at next year's football team last Friday. Fullback Joe Prothero was coming back from a knee injury that sidelined him in week 2 of last season, noting he feels stronger since the procedure.
It was hard for me to get back mentally, being out of the game for a while. I'm coming back and I feel better mentally and physically now.
Although he didn't play in Friday's game, quarterback Kalel Jenkins thinks next year's team will play with more of a chip on its shoulder compared to previous years.
I think we had a really good spring. This is the most physical, fast spring that I think we've had since I've been here. And this is the best performance as an offense that we've had, I feel like, since I've been here. So that's really exciting. It's really encouraging. And, we had a lot to correct from last season. And I think we've been taking steps in the right direction to get there.
Mackenzie Nicoli, Mustang News.
The Cal Poly basketball team took on UCLA this weekend in a non-conference matchup. Reporters Cindy Finkel and Nate Edelman have the highlights.
The Cal Poly baseball team had a tough weekend series against top 10 ranked UCLA.
On Friday, jumping into the bottom of the 7th, Kyle Marincon scores on a wild pitch to tie the game at 4.
With 2 outs, Tate Samuelson singles in Bradley Beasley to give the Mustangs a 5-4 lead. But UCLA responds with 5 runs in the 8th inning, and the Mustangs lose 9-5.
Second of the series, Alex McKenna breaks the 0-0 tie with a 3-run home run in the 5th. It is McKenna's 4th home run of the year.
But this 2-run triple by Kevin Kendall helps UCLA score 6 runs in the 6th. UCLA wins 6-3.
And on Sunday, Chase Strump's RBI grounder in the 5th gives the Bruins a 4-3 lead.
UCLA tacked on another run in the 6th with this off throw to first base. The Bruins complete the sweep and win 6-4.
The Mustangs look to snap their losing streak when they take on Santa Clara tomorrow night.
Coming up after the break, find out why Cal Poly engineers are putting things up in space.
The thing about broadcast is it's not just on paper, so now you're actually seeing people's emotions and their reactions, and I think you just really learn a lot by being able to go face to face and also have a camera and capture those emotions. And broadcast is so fun in my opinion because you can take what you see and show it to your audience and show them exactly what you're witnessing or other people are witnessing at the moment.
Sports is mostly good news, and a lot of the time, a lot of the other news we get isn't necessarily good news. And so I think that it's kind of a nice break from a lot of the other not so great things that might be happening around the community and on campus. I think that good journalism is objective and informative. It is as unbiased as possible. And I think that Mustang News does a really good job of that, reporting about the incidents on campus without necessarily putting a spin on them.
NASA is launching the first interplanetary mission from the West Coast in May. Cal Poly engineering students had a hand in the mission. NASA speakers spoke on campus about Rocket Insight and the mission from Vandenberg Air Force Base to Mars. Cal Poly students worked on equipment that will fly behind InSight collecting data and sending it back to Earth. Project manager Dave Penatelli talked about the students' work.
Sorry for that. That was the 11th annual Morro Bay Kite Festival that we held this weekend. Hundreds of flyers of all ages gathered at Morro Beach to enjoy the festival, which included free kites for kids and pro kite demonstrations. The event allowed beginners to get kites in the air for the first time, next to experienced flyers who come to Morro Bay every year to participate. Over the weekend, I got the chance to meet a Morro Bay resident who says she has a special talent. I'm here with Kristen Hauser, local animal communicator. She's going to tell us a little bit about what she does, and then we're also, just to make this a little bit more personal, going to have her do a reading of my cat.
I talk to animals telepathically. I like to call it telepathic, and it means I feel what they're feeling, and so I can relay those messages.
Kristen says she's been doing this since childhood, but began taking it more seriously over the past few years. She believes the ability exists within all of us to connect with our animals.
They're always communicating in their own ways, and we just have to kind of quiet our minds and be ready to receive what they're saying.
So Kristen, here is a picture of Buster. This is my cat. What can you tell me about him?
He thinks he's smarter than a Buster, but he's saying that he prefers nicknames that you have for him. He's like, I'm a very smart cat, I'm very intelligent. He's funny. Sweet cat, but he has a fiery spirit. He's excited that we're talking because the more that you learn about him, the more that you learn about yourself.
Rachel Showalter, Mustang News.
Well, that's all we have for you today on Mustang News. Thank you for tuning in. I am Emma Withrow.
And I'm Rachel Showalter. Have a great day.